it. Reverse sweep. Doesn't make contact. And another dot ball. Van Noordwijk ready to bowl. Gets back to his run up very quickly. Bowls it now. Big shot, big shot. It's a big chase here for David Landry to cut off the boundary. He's not. That is 4 runs and 50 for James Dunn.
That boundary brings up 50 runs for New Zealand captain James Dunn.
And that is also the 150 up for New Zealand.
It is also 150 runs up for New Zealand.
So Van Noordwijk at the top of his run up, ready to bowl. James Dunn to face. But now attacks the middle line, but it's going to be a wide on the offside. So extra run there to the score. A lot of extras by the South Africans again today. Van Noordwijk bowls at long ball. Another wide. The boys just need to calm down. Van Noordwijk ready to bowl. Bowls it now right arm over. James Dunn with a big shot. This time straight to David Landry, and there'll only be one. One ball left in the over. And that brings Donnelly back on to strike the single. The South African field comes in, trying to cut off easy singles. Again, Van Noordwijk bowls, plays and misses, but it's wide on the offside. Just a reminder that a B1 batsman is totally blind, so any run scored off his bat is doubled. Van Noordwijk comes in. Lee is run out without bothering the scorers. New Zealand score after 18 overs, 157 for 5, and they're going to need
18 overs, New Zealand scores 157 for 5.
New Zealand is going to have to go big here in the last two to get close to that 180 mark. Anything under 180 will be way too easy for the South Africans. McGaskill on strike. Sergio January to bowl the 19th over. McQuell is a big hitter, so he can hit the ball quite hard and quite far. Right, so Sergio January getting ready to bowl. Right arm over, bowls it now. Big swing by McGaskill, misses it, but it's wide outside off stump. Extra run to the New Zealand team. Sergio January getting his instructions from his wicketkeeper. Ready to bowl now. Right arm over. And again, wide on the offside. January ready to bowl now. He bowls a right arm over. And again, wide down the offside. Sergio January perhaps rushing things a little bit here and should just calm down a little bit. And gets ready to bowl now. Right arm over. This time down the leg side, but McGaskill looks like he's made contact as they run one. No contact, and it's 2 wides. That brings James Dunn onto strike. So first 4 balls have gone for wides here. January will just have to calm down. Don't let the pressure get to him. He gets ready to bowl now. James Dunn, obviously a left-hander, bowls it, and it's another wide offside. January gets ready to bowl. Bowls it now. And again, wide on the off stump. And this is a horrible over for Sergio January. His skipper running up to him now, going to have a little chat to him. Just calming him down. So his skipper has had a long talk to him. And we'll see if that works. Just to calm him down. Sergio now gets ready to bowl. Sergio January right arm over. This is much better. James Dunn gets hold of it. They've run one. Fielders come in. And they're not going to run the second. That was much better by Sergio January. Just one run of it. Excellent bit of fielding on the boundary. The fielding was done by Isaac Bidler. Sergio January bowls now. Down leg side, another wide. And the left-hand, right-hand combination also playing a bit of a factor here. Sergio January bowls it now. Slower ball, much better on the stumps. And straight to a fielder. They're going to take a single. And they make it quite comfortably. But much better that from Sergio January. That is the line he should bowl. As he gets ready to bowl now to James Dunn, as it's a left-handed batsman again. Bowls it. On this side again, too wide on the offside. Extra run. And Sergio now gets ready to bowl again. Bowls it now. Much better. And he's bowled him. He has bowled James Dunn after a horrible over. He gets the big wicket of James Dunn. So James Dunn bowled Sergio January 53 of 52 balls, 3 fours, and New Zealand loses their 6th wicket.
Ball of the 6th wicket was James Dunn for 53 runs, all Sergio January.
How often does that happen in cricket where the bowler has a horrible over and just gets one to go the right way and that takes a wicket? So just 3 more balls for Sergio January to bowl like that. He should get a lot of confidence back after that wicket. Something he perhaps needed. And all is forgiven by the fielding side as he gets the big wicket of James Dunn. So Krishank ready to receive the ball. January ready to bowl. Right arm over now. And wide outside the off stump. So perhaps we could have 3 wides in a row and another bolt wicket. All strategy this from Sergio January perhaps. Playing mind games. Our poor scorer is running out of space for the extras again. January gets ready to bowl. Right arm over. Much better. This time they make contact and they're going to get a single. And just a single. Score moves on to 177 for 6 with 1 ball left in the over. So 1 ball left in the over. That brings McGaskill on strike. Apology. It's 171. And that is a big shot. It's gone in the air. Fielders have all missed it as it's gone in the air and the ball no longer makes a sound. Now they pick it up. They've run 2. Fielder gets it. And after playing a massive shot, they only get 2 runs for it. And that is the end of one more ball. Okay, so 1 ball left in this over. Apologies, our scorer is a little bit behind here. Okay, big shot. It's played down to the square leg boundary. Good bit of fielding by David Landry. They're looking to take 2 and then decide against it. And just a single. And that is the end of the 19th over. We'll update you with the score in a second. And the scorers have caught up, and the score at the end of 19 overs is 174 for 6.
With 1 over remaining, New Zealand's score is 174 for 6.
Let's just say that it is also very difficult to score blind cricket just as much as umpiring it, because things happen really quickly and there's a lot of extras and it can get a bit confusing. So the girls up here are doing a great job. So bowler looks like it's a bowling change. Last over to be bowled by Buckley Bidla. Buckley Bidla runs in. Starts off with a dot ball on the offside. McGaskill just leaving it, perhaps thinking it's going wide, but scraped just inside. So dot ball, 5 to go. Big over this for both teams. Bowls it. It's a big shot, but he's hit it straight back to the fielder and no run. 2 dot balls. Brilliant bowling so far by Buckley Bidla. McGaskill struggling to get it away at the moment. Buckley comes running in, right arm over the stumps. This time he does get hold of one. He's hit it in the air, but there is a fielder out there and only 1. Excellent bowling this bouncer in normal cricket. In comes Buckley Bidla. Bowls it. Little sweep shot. They've taken 1. The fielder's after it. They might come back for 2. Fielder gets it. They're going for 2. And at the end of the day, comfortable runners. Cruikshank ran to the danger end and made it comfortably for 2. There's 2 balls left in the innings. New Zealand on 178 for 6. So that magical 180 is definitely going to come up for them as Buckley Bidla runs in. Bowls it. Straight back at the fielder. They're going for the run. Oh, and a direct hit might have had some trouble, but they get the single. Score moves on to 179. 1 ball left in the innings. That brings McGaskill on strike. 1 ball left. Buckley Bidla comes running in. Bowls it. Big shot. But there is cover down there. So they get 1. They'll come back from 2. The throws come in. They'll have to hurry here. And they quite comfortably make 2. That is the end of the New Zealand innings. They end on 181 for 6. South Africa will need 182 to win.
At the end of their 20 overs, New Zealand finished on 181 for 6. South Africa will require 182 runs if they are to win the game.
So we will be back in a couple of minutes as we take a short break for the change of innings. Hope you all enjoyed the first half of this match, the last T20 in the 5-match series. South Africa is trying to make it 5-0, and the New Zealanders want to end the T20 series with at least one win under their belts. We'll be back in a few minutes. You guys are gonna have to shoot the pitch. You're gonna have to shoot the Okay, all right. It looks like right. Looks like we're back up. And so we're back here at the Victoria Cricket Club as the umpires make their way onto the field for the start of the South African innings. South Africa needs to score 182 runs of 120 balls to clinch or to make it 5-0 in the 5-match series and to have a whitewash. New Zealand obviously will come hard and try and restrict the South Africans. We have been informed that the pitch has become a little bit difficult to play on. It is a little bit bouncy, so it just makes it a bit more difficult for the players. The New Zealanders also now taking the field. And as is customary for the South African team, they will make a little bit of a tunnel for the opening batsmen to walk through, and they cheer them on as they go on the field. So the New Zealanders all on the field now. The South Africans making a little bit of a tunnel there. And we will tell you now who the opening batsmen for South Africa are. The first over will be bowled by Mark Flowerday for New Zealand. As the South African batsman opening pair get ready to get onto the field. Opening pair for South Africa will be Buckley, number 11, and the captain wicketkeeper Dominic as they go into the field now. And we get ready for the South African run chase. 182 needed of 20 overs. It looks like Buckley will face the first ball, and Mark Flowerday will be the opening bowler for New Zealand. Okay, so small change here. Dominic will face the first ball. Buckley will be at the non-striker's end.
South Africa's opening batsman, Dominic and Gute Peter. Opening bowler will be Mark Flowerday.
So we're about to get started here. The umpires have called play, and we're ready for the run chase. So Mark Flowerday comes running in. Dominic Adrianse to face the first ball. Bowls it. A little bit of a dab shot. Straight to the fielder. No run. Again, the South Africans need to go just over 9 runs and over. So in the other two run chases, they started off really slow, playing controlled cricket, batting responsibly, and then picking up towards the end. As Flowerday comes running in, bowls it. And a play and a miss by Dominic Adrians. Keeper doesn't collect clearly, but no run. So another dot ball. Flowerday gets to the top of his run up. He's got a really long run up. He comes running in now, right arm over. Bowls to Dominic Adrians. Dominic Adrians smashes one, but straight to the fielder. Excellent bit of fielding there and no run. So a good start by Flowerday. First 3 balls are dot balls. New Zealand will have to somehow transfer the pressure onto the South African batsmen, let them make mistakes if they want to win this game. Adrian's ready to face the ball. Flowerday bowls it. Big swing and a miss. He makes a little bit of contact, I think. There's a big run. And 2 runs to Dominic Adrians. So first runs off the bat for the South Africans. Flowerday walks up to the top of his run-up. Turns around. Comes running in. Right arm over to Dominic Adrians. A little bit of a lap shot down the leg side. That's one. There's a fielder down there and they'll just take the single. No risky cricket at the moment. So another single to Dominic Adrians. This will bring Buckley on strike. Buckley has had 2 brilliant games the last 2 games. He's been man of the match in both those games with 2 really good scores. Flowerday comes into him now. Bowls right arm over. Bidlar, nice little lap shot straight to a B1 and they'll pick up a single as Flowerday does his own fielding. Another run to the South African score. And that is the end of the first over. South Africa has moved on to South Africa has moved on to 4 without loss after the first over.
After 1 over, South African score is 4 without loss.
From the other end. So the bowler from the other end will be Makwel McGaskill. And Buckley Bidlar is on strike as they took a single of the last ball of the last over. Bidlar ready now. McGaskill comes in. He will be bowling right arm over the wicket. He comes in, lets it go. Nice little sweep shot by Buckley Bidlar. There's nobody out there. They've run one. They're going to come back for 2. The ball is going to die. Fielder picks it up now. Flowerday picks it up. And they'll settle for 2. So McGaskill is ready to bowl. Slight change in the field. Flowerday going big squarer. McGaskill bowls. Nice little lap shots again. They've taken 1 and they'll only take the 1 as the ball has gone straight to Flowerday, who does the fielding. That brings Dominic Adrians on strike. Dominic is the bigger hitter of the 2, so there's a nice blend of power and skill between the 2 batsmen. So Dominic Adrians ready now. McGaskill comes running in right arm over. Big shot, beautifully played through the covers. And that is 4 runs for the skipper, Dominic Adrians. Excellent shot played through the covers. McGaskill gets ready to bowl now. Right arm over to Dominic Adrians. Comes in, bowls. Little lap shot from Dominic Adrians into the gap, and they'll take a single. Boundary of the first ball. No. So 2 balls left in the over. Buckley Bidler on strike. McGaskill comes in, bowls it. Sweep shot in front of square, and they'll pick up another single. So Adrian's back on strike, last ball of the over. As McGaskill runs in, bowls it. Big swing and miss. He's missed it, but so has the keeper. Umpire says there was a bit of patching there, so a single to the score. 1 run to Dominic Adrians, and that is the end of the second over. South Africa has moved on to 14 without loss. 10 coming of that over.
For the end of the second over for South Africa is 14 without loss.
So Flower Day will continue. Dominic Adrians on strike. Flower Day on the top of his run up. Flower Day running in. Bowls to Dominic Adrians. And that is a wide on the off stump. Flower Day at the top of his run up, turns around now. Comes running in, bowls right arm over to Dominic Adrians. Tries a little lap shot. There's a huge shot for LBW, but Flower Day, umpire unmoved, not out. So Flower Day back at the top of his run out, or run up. Adrian still on strike as he comes running in now. Bowls right arm over. Little lap shot, gets it past the fielder. There's cover out on the boundary. James Dunn throws in, and just a single to Dominic Adrian, and brings Buckley Bidler on strike. Big booming drive through the covers. There's no one out there. They've run 1. They're going to turn for 2. And 2 easy runs. Two balls left in the over. Dominic Adrians on strike. Flower Day walks up, turns around now. Comes running in. Sweep shot by Adrians. He gets hold of it beautifully. Nobody's going to stop that. That's a boundary for Dominic Adrians. Excellent sweep shot. Bisecting the 2 players out on the boundary, on the square leg boundary. 1 ball to go. And a much better over this by the South Africans. New Zealand really has to bowl a lot tighter, have to be sharper in the field. They need to put pressure on the South African batsmen if they're going to defend 182. Flowerday at the top of his run-up. Adrian's on strike. He comes running. Right arm over to Dominic Adrians. Another booming drive through the covers. Gets hold of it beautifully. Ball slowing down, so they'll only get two. But a beautiful shot through there. And that is the end of the third over. At the end of the third over, the South African score moves on to 25 without loss. The current run rate is 8.3 and they need to go at 9.24. Continue to bowl. He'll start his second over. Buckley on strike. And the South Africans off to a pretty good start here. Going in just over 8 over as McGaskill comes in, bowls to Bidler. Bidler with a beautiful little sweep shot. There is someone out on the boundary and they'll just get a single. One more to the total. So as McGaskill gets ready to bowl, runs in. Nice little lap shot by Dominic Adrians down to the fine leg boundary where it gets fielded and again intelligent batting by the South African openers. McGaskill runs into Adrians. Big booming drive, top shot through the covers. And that is another 4 for the South African skipper, Dominic Adrians. And he looks like he's in the mood today. They just wait for the fielder to come back from the boundary. McGaskill is ready to bowl to Dominic Adrians. So right arm over. That's a very good ball, but it's missed by the wicketkeeper. And South Africa will pick up a leg bye that comes off the legs of Dominic Adrians. That brings Buckley back on strike. McGaskill comes in, bowls to him now. Again, a nice little lap shot. There's always a single on there. James Dunn is very deep on the boundary there. Easy single down to square with a little sweep shot. As we come to the end of the fourth over, South Africa moves on to 34 without loss. Current rate is 8.5. The required rate is still 9.25. Now there is also a bowling change. It looks like Mr. Williamson. So Williamson will start his first over. He's also a totally blind player, B1, and he will be bowling to Buckley as we start the fifth over. As he gets ready to bowl it now. Bowls it. And that is a no ball. As it has gone off the pitch before the middle line, and that becomes then a no ball, dead ball. So straight away the bowler under pressure with his extra run of the first ball. And New Zealand bowled, it was 48 or 49 extras in yesterday's game. Way too much. As he bowls now, Nice ball, but a good shot. There is someone out on the boundary, so they'll keep it down to 1. And Adrian's on strike. So Williamson gets ready to bowl. Bowls it now. And Adrians walks outside off stump and then decides to leave it alone as it is very wide. And another extra. South Africans also had a very bad day in the field with the amount of extras that they bowled today. So Williamson gets ready to bowl. Lets it go now. Big, booming, straight drive from Dominic. Adrian says not going to reach the boundary, but they'll come back for 2 as Mark Flowerday does the fielding. And 2 runs to the score. Again, a little bit of a thick outfield here, so the ball not travelling as fast as it did at the Vineyard. So the guys will have to run quite a bit. So Williamson gets ready to bowl right arm over. Adrian's on strike. Bowls it now. Sweep shot. Gets it past the fielder, and it should only be a single. And a single it is. Buckley back on strike. As Williamson gets ready to bowl to Buckley Bidler. Bowls it now. Bidler comes down the track, smacks it, and he's dropped. Excellent attempt there by Mark Flowerday, but just couldn't hold on to it. Buckley Bidler gets alive as he is dropped with his score on 11. How costly could that be for the New Zealanders? Dominic Adrian's also dropping his bat while he was running. He's back on strike now. Williamson to continue, right arm over to Dominic Adrian's. As he bowls it now, Adrian's using his feet, coming down the track, gets hold of it beautifully down to square leg, splits the fielders, and 4 more runs. So there's 1 ball remaining in the over. Very, very good over this for the South Africans. So Williamson ready to bowl to Dominic Adrian's. He bowls it now. Wide downside leg stump. Dominic Adrian's attempting and then pulling out of the shot. Opting to rather just take the extra. Williamson gets ready to bowl again. Adrian's on strike. Bowls it now. Sweep shot again. This time straight to the fielder. And they'll pick up a single. And that will end the 5th over. After 5 overs, South Africa are 47 without loss.
5 overs, South Africa's score is 47 without loss.
South Africa has now gone ahead of the required rate. They're going at 9.4 and the required rate is 9. Very good opening stand here, very good first 5 overs. Dominic Adrians has raced to 31 off 20 balls with 4 boundaries. Buckley going at a running ball 11. The partnership obviously 47 runs. Shangar. It's a bowling change on the other end. It is Shangar to bowl. He's also a B1 bowler. He'll be bowling right arm around the wicket. Dominic Adrians on strike. He bowls it now. Big shot, big straight drive. He gets it past the fielder. They've run one. Fielder pulls it in. Buckley guilty of ball watching on the other end. They only get a single. They should have taken 2 there. A little bit guilty of ball watching. So Bidla on strike now. Sangar to bowl to him. Right arm around. Comes in bowls. Buckley Bidla with the back lap shot. They've taken 1. Flowerday picks up beautifully. Buckley Bidla's coming back to the danger end. But they get the 2 quite comfortably in the end. And 2 more runs. So that is the 50 partnership for South Africa and the 50 up on the score.
That is 50 runs up for South Africa and the 50-run partnership between Dominic Adrians and Buckley Bidla.
Shangar gets ready to bowl to Bidla. Right arm around. Bidla using his field. He's skied that. He's hit it quite well. Fielder's not going to get there. And they're only going to get 1. He's hitting it into the slight breeze there is, I think. So it just holds up a little bit. But a very good shot nonetheless. And Dominic Adrians gets back onto strike. Bit of a hold up as Dominic Adrians just did his shoelaces up again. And Dominic Adrians ready now. Shangar gets ready to bowl to him. Right arm around the wicket. Bowls it now. Big shot, big shot. James Dunn misfields on the boundary and 4 runs to the South African captain. And another 4 to the score. So Dominic Adrians definitely looking in the mood here today. Doesn't want to let this run rate get away. Attacking the ball. Shangar is ready to bowl to Dominic Adrians. Right arm around. Bowls it now. Chasing a wide. Misses it, and that is called a wide by the umpire, an extra run. Showing clearly intent there that he's even going to go after the wide balls now. The captain wants to get this done as quickly as possible. The Shangar is ready to bowl right arm around. Another booming drive through the offside. 4 more runs. Does a bit of excellent work there. And that is the end of the over. After 6 overs, South Africa are 61 without loss.
6 overs gone, and South Africa has moved on to 61 without loss.
Still very subdued by the South African team sitting on the side of the field. They have a few supporters in with them. So Williamson is going to carry on bowling. Dominic Adrian's obviously taking a single of the last over and back onto strike. He's raced to 41 of 24 balls. Williamson ready to bowl now to Dominic Adrian's. So he bowls it now. Another big shot, big shot. The fielder's not going to get that. That's 4 more runs to Dominic Adrian, sir. Hitting it in front of square. The fielder was probably about 3 meters away and still couldn't get there. Powerful hitting this. So Williamson gets ready to bowl again. So Dominic Adrian's on strike. Williamson just about ready to deliver the ball. Williamson to continue. As he gets ready to bowl now. Right arm over to Buckley Bidler. And that is going to be wide outside the off stump. And the umpires call that wide, extra run. So Williamson getting ready to bowl. Bidler still on strike. Bowls a right arm over now. Bidler plays a beautiful shot out to the boundary. Fielder hasn't seen it. He picks it up now. Doesn't reach the boundary though. And 2 runs. Well, they're just querying it here, but fielder says no. Umpire's not sure. And 2 runs added to the score. The wicket. Bidler goes the other way. Sweep shot. There is protection down there. They'll get 1. Little bit of good fielding down there, and they'll stick to 1. That brings Dominic Adrian's back on strike. Dominic Adrian's on strike as Williamson gets ready to bowl to him now. Right arm over the stumps. Big shot again. Big shot again. This time the fielder does get there. And just a single. So Dominic Adrian's moves to 47. Buckley Bidler back on strike. So Williamson gets ready to bowl to Buckley Bidler. Right arm over the wickets. Bidler chasing a wide one. Caught misses and called wide by the umpire. Extra run to the South Africans. So Williamson gets ready. Bidler on strike. Bowls it now. And Bidler again having a go at it. It's very, very wide. Misses it. Umpire calls wide. The South Africans obviously have decided they don't want to do this in wides. They want to have a go at it and try and get the boundaries. And that's all good and well, but you've got to make sure that you do not get slight contact on that then and straight to a fielder. If you're going to do that, you have to hit it to the boundary. Bowls it now again. Much better ball. He sweep shot out to the boundary, fielder down there, and they'll get a single. A single to Buckley Bidler. And that is the end of the 7th over. The South African score has moved on to 74 without loss.
After 7 overs, South Africa's score has moved on to 74 without loss.
So I've got the little pocket rocket with me here today from South Africa, Asher Atang. He's only about 4 foot 2 inches high. Asher sitting out today. Any reason for that?
Coach told me this resting series is done for, so just giving the other guys some playing time, get their minds right, getting in the game. So yeah, I'm happy with that.
Awesome. So we've got McGaskill to continue here. Buckley Bidla on strike. I think he got a bit jealous there with Dominic slapping the ball all over the place, and McGaskill bowls. Nice little sweep shot past the fielder there. James Dunn will come in off the boundary, and they'll keep it down to a single. Asher, happy with the way the boys are batting at the moment?
Yeah, we're going according to plan. We spoke, if there's bad balls, just put it away. So that's what the boys are doing.
McGaskill in. Down the leg side.
Boys are looking good, so I have to be good for the ODI. So yeah, I'm happy with the wrist.
McGaskill bowling. Beautiful little shot, just for a single from Dominic Adrians. He moves on to 48. You've picked up some wickets. You happy with the way you've been bowling?
Yeah, all's good. Got 3 wickets, so I'm more than happy with that.
Right, McGaskill comes in, right arm over. Bidler will lap shot again and straight to James Dunn, and he'll just take a single. How's your knee, mate?
Knee is about 95%. Race tomorrow will take it to 100%. Ready for the ODIs.
So McGaskill ready to bowl, comes in right arm over. And a big wide down leg side. Keeper misses it, and they're going to run. So 2 wides added to the score. Enjoying the guys, everybody together for the first time for this long period of time.
Yeah, I'm happy to see everyone. The guys look happy, so uh, the camaraderie in the team, I'm loving it.
Nice little shot there, gets it past the fielder by Buckley Bidler, and another single. What are you guys looking for in the ODIs?
Looking for the same. Everyone should just do their job, then everything would be fine. So we're looking for a 2-0 in the ODI, so let's see.
McGaskill in, Dominic Adrian, booming drive straight back past the bowler, but there's a fielder covering there and only a single. Right, Asher, awesome speaking to you, mate. Good luck for the one days.
Thank you.
McGaskill comes in. Again, nice little lap shot by Buckley Bidler and just a single as there's protection out on the boundary. So at the end of the 8th over, South Africa have moved on to 83 without loss.
South Africa's score has moved on to 83 without loss after 8 overs.
Okay, so even 49. Yeah. So the South Africans going on nicely here. So Williamson to continue. Bidler on strike. No, hold on. Wait, that's not Williamson. So there's a bowling change here. We'll just confirm the bowler for you in a second. Ball is bowled. And South Africans will take a quick single. So the bowler is Donnelly. Dominic on strike. Donnelly to bowl right arm over the wicket. And Donnelly is also a B1 bowler. He bowls now. Way off the pitch. And that's a no ball. Sorry, correction, Donnelly looks like his left arm around the wicket. So Adrian's on strike, Donnelly to bowl to him now. He's now going to come left arm over the wickets as he gets his directions from his wicketkeeper, Donna McGaskill. Ready to bowl, bowls it now. And again, wide on the offside, and the umpire calls that. So not a very good start this by Donnelly. Adrian's ready to smack it. He gets ready. Donnelly bowls. And again, wide on the offside. Keeper misses it, and they will run a by, and it's 2 wides. That brings Buckley Bidla back onto strike. So both teams finding it difficult to bowl today, especially the B1s. A lot of wides, a lot of extras. Donnelly gets ready to bowl to Bidla, bowls it now. Again, wide off the pitch on the offside. He bowls it. This time, not sure if he made contact. It's gone past the keeper. They've run one. I'm just waiting for the umpire signal. It looks like there was a little bit of bat on that, so 2 runs to Buckley Bidla. Oh, sorry. 1 run. My apologies. That brings Dominic Adrians back on strike. Dominic Adrians on 49. Donnelly gets ready to bowl, bowls it now. Very wide. Adrians gets hold of it though, into the gap. He'll take the single, and that is 50 up for Dominic Adrians.
That single brings up 50 runs for Dominic Adrian.
Is 50 coming off 31 balls? Of 31 balls.
Half century coming off just 31 balls.
It's 7 fours at a strike rate of 164. So Donnelly to bowl to Bidla. And get ready to bowl now. Left arm around the wicket. Bowls it. It's wide. Bidla has a swing, misses, and the umpire calls wide. The South Africans have clearly decided to have a go at the wide balls. They just want to get this done. You've got to feel for the bowler. It's not the best of conditions to bowl in. A lot of pressure on him. Wide again. Bidla has a swing and a miss, and another wide called by the umpire. I can't blame the South African batsmen for having a go at these. They don't want to be out for longer than it's necessary to be out there. Donnelly ready to bowl. Buckley Bidla on strike. Bowls it now. And again wide. This time Bitla does leave it. Now you've got to feel for the young man. A lot of pressure on him and it's not going his way. He comes in, bowls now. Again wide. Bitla leaves it. It's a no ball. And the New Zealand shoulders just starting to hang a little bit here. The body language not good from the outside, the fielders. I think they're starting to realize that this is a 5-0 series loss for them. As Donnelly gets ready to bowl, bowls it. Again wide. Buckley Bidla walks to it. This time makes contact. They've run one. They're going to come back for two as the fielder picks it up. So that's two of Bidla. Two runs of a no ball there. So South African score moves on by 3. Donnelly to go. There's still 3 balls left in this over. It's incredibly long over. He bowls it now. Bidla meets it again. Brilliant bit of fielding by the fielder down there, diving in, cutting it down and keeping it to 1. South African score moves to 99. 2 balls left in the over. Bidla moves on to 27. And the batsman helping out the bowler, chasing off the white balls and making sure that there's no extra balls. As he gets ready to bowl to Dominic Adrians, bowls it. Big booming drive from Adrians, misses it, white ball. And with that wide, the 100 for South Africa comes up. Hold on. Donnelly bowls again. Big shot by Dominic Adrians. It will not get to the boundary. They'll come back for 2. But it made a beautiful sound off the bat as he hit that. Now there's overthrows, and they're going to go back for the 3rd.
With that, South Africa bring up 100 runs.
So last ball of the over. Buckley bit. So another ball, another shot. And that's going to be another boundary by Buckley Bidla playing the lap shot. So that is the end of Donnelly's over. The score has moved on to 111 without loss. So 1 over to Jinx, the South African batsman, going along nicely here. 111 without loss after 9. They're going at a rate of 12. Look like cards. You can done maybe, I don't know. It looks like, you sure? It looks like deep. Is it too short? Bowler runs into bowl. Nice little shot by Dominic Adrians here. Big chase for the fielder. And they'll stick to the single. Yeah. So it's Deacon Dunn is the new bowler. His first ball's gone for a single. So he gets to the top of his run up as he comes in bowling to Buckley Bidla, right arm over the stumps. Nice little shot again by Buckley, just a little lap shot, takes the single as there's protection out on the boundary. And the South Africans can pretty much just go wrong at a runner ball now. It's become very comfortable, this. Bar any mishaps, this should be a walk in the park now. As Deacon Dunn comes running in right arm over to Dominic, who leaves it. Keeper misses it. It's a wide, and they're going to run another single, so 2 wides to the score. Buckley Bidla back on strike. Cricket is a funny game, a small little collapse here, and things could just change very quickly. Dunn runs in, bowls now to Buckley Bidla. Nice little lap shot. James Dunn will do the fielding down at square leg and another single. A stunning day here in Cape Town as the cloud comes over the mountain. Beautiful backdrop. Deacon Dunn ready to bowl, comes in, bowls now to Dominic on strike. Very good little shot there fired from Dominic Argento. Just putting the bat down, angling it, and they're going to come back for 2. Good running there by the South Africans. Big shot by Adrians. But doesn't get proper contact, and it ends up at the wicketkeeper. Dot ball. If you got hold of that, they probably would have picked that up at Casey Centre. As Deacon Dunn comes running in. Adrians on strike. This time just a little lap shot into the gap. And they'll just run 1. And that is the end of the 10th over. South Africa on 119 without loss after 10 as the players take drinks.
At the drink break, South Africa's score is 119 without loss after 10 overs.
So the required rate is at 6.3. The current rate is 11.9. Really, really good batting by the South Africans. South Africans require 63 runs off 60 balls.
South Africa will need 63 more runs from the remaining 60 balls.
So welcome back to Victoria Cricket Club as the players make their way back onto the field to the middle after the drinks break. A quick recap for you guys. South Africa currently on 119. New Zealand made 181 for 6 in their 20 overs, setting a target of 182. And the South Africans going along very nicely, 119 without loss after 10 overs. They require 6.3 an over, and they're currently going at almost 12 an over. Dominic Adrian's not out on 57 of 36 balls with 7 boundaries. Buckley not out 37 of 30 balls with 2 boundaries. And so the South African batsmen will obviously try and get this over and done with now. They require another 63 runs of 60 balls, and they're going at 12 and over. So if they carry on with the way they're going now, this should all be over in about 5 overs. So there's going to be a bowling change. Mark Flowerday will come back on as New Zealanders desperately search for that breakthrough. So going back to the strike bowler, Mark Flowerday. Dominic Adrian's on strike. Flowerday walking up to his mark. And everybody ready. Dominic playing a proper captain's knock here today, leading from the front. So Flowerday comes running in. Buckley on strike now. And he plays a little dab shot down to third man, where the fielder will pick it up and they take another single. Easy cricket now. Nice hot day in Cape Town. If it wasn't for the breeze out there, the place would have been really burning. Flowerday turns around to the top of his run-up, comes running in. Adrian's on strike. Swing and a miss. Wide outside off stump umpire. Calls it wide and an extra run to the total. Flowerday gets to the top of his run-up, turns around. Adrian's to face. Runs in now, bowls right arm over the wicket to Dominic Adrian's. That's a horrible ball. Keeper also misses it. And it's gone down, and it's 4 wides. Or 5 wides. Horrible ball. He just got everything wrong there. And 5 more runs to the South African total. So Flowerday, top of his run up, turns around now, comes running in. Dominic Adrian's on strike, bowls right arm over the wicket to him. Little lap shot. There is protection out on the boundary, and they'll just get a single. Down to fine leg. That brings Buckley back on strike. Flowerday gets to the top of his run up, turns around, Comes running in. Right arm over to Buckley Bidler. Wide on the off stump. Keeper misses it. And they run through for a single, and it's 2 wides. Dominic back on strike. Flowerday comes running in now. Adrian's on strike. Bowls right arm over. Little lap shot. His protection down on the fine leg boundary. And they'll just take the single. So Flowerday walking back to his mark. Buckley Bidler on strike. He comes running in now. Bowls to Bidler. Reverse sweep. Just a single as Flowerday does. He's on fielding in the cover region. And that brings Adrian's back on strike. But that is the end of the over. Oh, it's the end of the over. So, at the end of the 11th over, the South Africans have moved on to 134 without loss.
South Africa's score after 11 overs is 134 without loss.
Buckley Bidler has moved on to 39 of 32. Adrian's on 62 of 40. South Africa require 48 of 54 with a required rate of 5.3 and over.
South Africa require 48 more runs from the remaining 54 balls.
So Shankar back in the attack. Right arm around the wicket to Buckley Bidler. Shankar also a B1 bowler. And he bowls it now. And Buckley Bidler gets hold of it, but hits it straight to the fielder at fine leg, and they'll take a single. So that brings Dominic Adrianse back on strike. Shangar ready to bowl right arm around. Big shot by Adrianse. Straight to mid-off. Well, the fielder picks it up and just a single. Bidler on strike. Shankar comes in, bowls. Bidler goes to meet it, but doesn't make contact. It's wide on the offside, and the umpire signals wide. Extra run to the South African total. So a bit of pressure back onto the New Zealand bowler. Bidler still on strike. Shankar gets ready to bowl. Right arm around. Big shot by Bidler. Fielder out there, misses it. They've taken one. They're going to turn for... No. Dominic Adrian sends him back. He was going to go to the danger end. So just a single. A good attempt there by the fielder to try and get to the ball in there. At the end of the day, just missing it, and a single. Shangar ready to bowl now. Adrian's back on strike. And that's another wide on the offside. So one more run to the total. Shanghai ready to bowl. Adrian's on strike. Right arm around. Goes for the big one. Doesn't connect. Gets it out to the square leg boundary for a single. Buckley Bidla back on strike. Buckley Bidla now on 41, just needs another 9 to get his off. Shankar now bowls it right arm around the wicket to Buckley Bidla. Big shot by Bidla. Straight to the fielder though. Excellent bit of fielding, and they pick up a single. And that hurt. Looks like Deacon done shaking his hands there. That stung him. Very powerfully hit straight at him. Adrian's back on strike. Shankar is ready to bowl. Oh, Adrian's has got hold of that. It's going to slow down. Fielder picks it up. They're going to come back for the second. And that is a 4. Umpire signals 4. So 4 more runs to Dominic Adrians. And that is the end of the over. So at the end of the 12th over, South Africa scores moved on to 145 without loss.
South Africa's score after 12 overs is 145 without loss.
South Africa require another 37 runs of 48 balls with 10 wickets in hand.
South Africa needs 37 more runs from the remaining 48 balls.
So at the end of the 12th over, Dominic Adrians has moved on to 48. Buckley Bidla on 42. Fantastic opening stand here. 5 shy of 150 run opening stand. So Deacon Dunn back into the attack. Buckley Bidla on strike. And the New Zealanders are still getting the field properly set. And it seems we're ready now to bowl play. Deacon Dunn at the top of his run-up. As he comes running in now to Buckley Bidla. Right arm over. And everybody has missed that. That's gone to the boundary for 5 wides. It was a really quick ball. And everybody just missed it. And that is the 150 up for South Africa. And it's also a 150 run opening partnership.
That is 150 runs up for South Africa. And there's also a 150 run partnership between Dominic Adrians and Buckley Bidla.
So Deacon done long conversation with the skipper at the bottom. He now comes back to his mark. Buckley Bidla on strike. As Deacon Dunn now comes running in, he's going to bowl right arm over the wicket to Buckley Bidla. There's an appeal, but the ball has come off the back of the bat or his glove. Yeah, Bidla shaking it, he felt that. Deacon bowling with a bit of pace here. As Deacon is at the top of his run-up, comes running in now. Right arm over the wicket to Buckley Bidler. Buckley gets hold of it, he hits it in the air. The fielder doesn't pick it up. And they're going to run 2. This is really good running by the South Africans as they come back for 2. Taking on the fielders here, putting the fielders under pressure. Buckley moves on to 44. Deacon Dunn comes running in, bowling to Buckley Bidler, who takes a few steps forwards. Plays a little sweep shot, half stopped. It's called wide. They've run 1, so that's 2 wides to the South African total. Bidler walking halfway down the track and has to get back very quickly as the ball is not dead yet. So 2 more extras to the score. That brings Dominic back on strike. Deacon Dunn runs in. Right arm over. Little lap shot by Dominic Adrianse. There is protection on the fine leg boundary. And another single to the South African score. 3 balls left in the over. As Deacon Dunn comes running in, Buckley Bidler on strike. He's on 44. Shuffles a little bit forward. Nice little guy down to fine leg. He's coming back to the danger end. They've got a rush. Now there's overthrows. They go back for the 3rd run. And Buckley Bidler gets 3. He moves on to 47 of 38 balls. There's still 2 balls left in this over. Deacon Dunn at the top of his run-up. Dominic Adrianse on strike now. They got 3 of the previous ball. Runs in, bowls right arm over. Again, a nice little lap shot. Just taking the singles, Adrianse now. Giving the strike to Buckley Bidler. Let him get to his 50 as well. Very unselfish by the captain now. And no longer playing any risky shots as the job is pretty much done. Buckley Bidler on strike. Deacon Dunn running in now. Shuffles across. Plays a little leg sweep. It's wide. Doesn't make contact. Wide. Extra run. So Deacon Dunn at the top of his run-up comes running in. Right arm over to Buckley Bidler. This time he does get hold of it. He's played it very square. And that is 4 runs for Buckley Bidler. And with that shot, Buckley Bidler gets to 50.
That boundary brings up the half century for Buckley Bidler.
So at the end of 13 overs, the South African score has moved on to 164 without loss. They require another 18 runs of 42 balls. 18 or 42 balls.
South Africa needs just 18 more runs from the remaining 42 balls.
Score is 164 without loss.
The score is 164 without loss.
So Buckley Bidler's 50 coming off 39 balls with 3 boundaries. He's batting at a strike rate of 130. Dominic Adrianse 70 or 45 balls with 8 boundaries, not out as well. He's on a strike rate of 155. The required rate now is only 2.5 and over. The South Africans going at almost 13 and over. So McGaskill will bowl now as there's a bowling change. Marquel McGaskill, he comes right arm over. Dominic Adrianse will be on strike. Just another 18 runs required by the South Africans. As McGaskill runs in, bowls right arm over. Shot by Dominic Adrianse. Straight up, and that's 4 more runs to the captain. Beautiful shot. Straight bat to mid-off. Nobody moved. A lot of power behind that shot. So with Buckley Bidla getting his 50 now, I think they've decided they're just going to have a swing at it and get it done, and get a bit of extra rest time in before the start of the one day is on Wednesday. That has been Buckley Bidla. This 50 is also Buckley Bidla's third 50 in a row. So he's been having a brilliant series. I don't think he's been out yet either. So he's going to average as McGaskill runs in, bowls to Dominic Adrianse. Very good ball. And for the first time today, Dominic Adrianse is forced to play a block. It's good to see that the South Africans still, even at this stage, treats every ball on its own. Respect given when it's needed. As McGaskill comes in, bowls to Dominic Adrianse. No respect this time as he sweeps it down to fine leg. But it'll just be a single. And Buckley Bidla back on strike. That's 3 balls gone in the over. South Africa's 169 without loss. McGaskill comes in now, right arm over. Bidla with a little shuffle forward. Sweeps it nicely. His protection out on the square boundary, and they just pick up a single. I'm not quite sure what the problem is now. James Dunn is... Yeah, I'm not sure. Anyways, doesn't look like anything else happening, just a bit of a talk. So McGaskill at the top of his run-up. Adrianse on strike. So McGaskill comes in, right arm over. Oh, brilliant ball. Brilliant ball, dot ball. Dominic Adrianse having to jump around in the crease there. And this is the type of bowling they needed up front in the innings. It's too little too late now, as it's become very comfortable for the South Africans. As a long ball. As the end of the over, the umpire has not called that. As it is the end of the over. So at the end of the 14th over, the South African score has moved on to 170. Another 12 runs needed of 36 balls.
South Africa's score after 14 overs is 170 without loss. South Africa requires 12 more runs from 36 balls remaining.
So again, a little bit of a conference in the middle there with the two captains and the umpire. Not quite sure what it's about. The other umpire joins his colleague. They're having a chat. And Tiken Dunn will continue. Buckley Bidla on strike. James Dunn still having a few words to say. As they get ready now. So Deacon Dunn at the top of his run-up, waiting for his field to be ready. He comes running in now, going to bowl right arm over to Bidler. Bidler's got hold of this nicely, but there is protection down there. And they'll just pick up one as McGaskill does the fielding. Just behind square. Adrian's back on strike. Deacon Dunn runs in. Right arm over to Dominic Adrians. Oh, that ball to go. Dominic Adrians with another 4. So 4 more runs to Dominic Adrians, 4 runs to the score. South Africans now just need 7 of 33 balls. Dominic Adrians has moved on to 79. Sweep shot down to fine leg. McGaskill picks it up, and they'll only get a single. So 6 more needed to win. Bidler on strike. McGaskill gets to the top of his run-up, turns around now. Comes running in, right arm over to Bidler. Nice little sweep shot. They'll get a single as McGaskill does the fielding behind square. 5 runs needed. Adrian's back on strike as the scorers are shouting for a 6-6-6. Dunn runs in, right arm over to Adrian, who leaves it down leg side, and another wide. So South Africa now just need another 4 runs to take the series 5-0 and whitewash. Deacon Dunn comes running in, bowls it. Sweep shot down to fine leg. McGaskill will pick it up and they'll get a single for that. So that is the end of the over. South Africa moves on to 179 without loss after 15. 3 more required of 5 overs.
South Africa's score after 15 overs is 179 without loss. They need just 3 more runs from the remaining 30 balls.
So it's a bowling change now as James Dunn brings himself on. Adrians will be on strike. There are 2 batsmen talking out the middle, and it looks like they're targeting a specific area to get this done. As there's nobody on the square leg boundary now. Now McGaskill sends a fielder over that side. But a big gap through the covers on the offside. So 3 more runs needed. James Dunn ready to bowl. Adrian's on strike. Comes in, bowls it now. Adrian's plays straight to a fielder. They'll just get a single. And that will bring Buckley Bidler on. 2 more runs needed. As the whole South African team is now standing up on the boundary ropes. James Dunn comes in, right arm over to Bidler. Big shot by Bidler. Oh, top stop by the fielder, and then it will just be a single. The scores are tied, and South Africa needs 1 more to make it 5-0 in the 5-match T20 series and whitewash the New Zealanders. Again, a very dominant display by South Africa today. As James Dunn gets ready to bowl, right arm over to Adrians. As a wide, and that will be that. South Africa wins by 10 wickets.
And with that wide, South Africa win the match and win the series 5-0.
So again, a very dominant display by the South African batsman today. Dominic Adrianse ending up on 82 not out of 55 balls. Buckley 55 of 43, also not out. Buckley 3 50s in a row now, has not yet been dismissed. So excellent stuff by the South Africans. Thank you all for watching. Thank you all for listening to us. We will be back here on Wednesday for the first of 2 one-day internationals. That game will take place at the Vineyard Oval. If you're in and around Cape Town, come on down.
South African batsman scores. Dominic Adrian finished with 82 not out from 55 balls.